favorite topics. But before we get started, we're going to be talking about healthy speed. All right, we're going to talk about healthy speed. But before we get started, what I want you to do, and here's how it works, is if I say something that really hits home, drop your comment below. All right, drop your comment below. If I say something that's like literally diamonds were dropped, go ahead and type it like on the very bottom. So when people come through, they can actually see what was said. And when you type something out, you actually retain it a lot more. And the second is to share with people, let people know what's up, let people know what we're up to right now. If you have any questions, put them in the question box. If you want to hop on with me, you can hop on with me. 30 days of thriving during the holidays. That's what we're talking about. And today, the biggest one, but before we get started, we're going to talk about healthy speed and getting clear because we're getting, I think we're like almost, today's Friday, 1 week until Thanksgiving. So we want to make sure we're totally on point. My name is Tanya Oliver. For those of you just joining me today, and I teach people how to become mentally, physically, and emotionally healthy and strong so that they can look, feel, and show up in their business and in their life and in everything as their best self, meaning they're living life in their full potential. So welcome. If you're joining me today, let your friends know what's up, what we're talking about. Today's all about healthy speed. And also to let you know, today is the last day. You guys, I don't want to say don't sleep on it because then I'm focusing on you guys sleeping on this offer, but I really want you to wake up to this offer because here's the back end story real fast. 2016, I wrote this book, everything that we're going through and more, actually. I wrote this book in 2016 and I had struggled for over a decade. With the holidays being that one time when I finally felt like this week, I felt like I was like, okay, I'm actually in a really good space. Like I was on point, I was on good schedule. And then when the holidays came, it was like from the holiday until January, February was a time that threw me backwards. So then I had set a goal during this time of the year to just sustain and everything. And I was on this mission. I'm like, I'm going to figure out every single thing possible that I can know in order to be successful from now until January so that when I step in 2023 or whatever year, it was at the time, it was 2017 because I wrote this in 2016. I'm going to step into this next year and I'm going to be mentally sharp. I'm going to be punctual. I'm going to be clear. I'm going to be focused AF. I'm going to be strong AF. Like these are the core things that I desired. Because what happens a lot of people is that we step into the new year actually feeling bad. We feel bad because we got to go clean up the damage we just did these last 6 weeks. We've got 6 weeks. And to have the mental sharpness and mental capacity to actually step into 2023. So this book I wrote in 2017 and it was just like sitting there. And I was like, I got to do something with it. And this is the year. A lot of people have been messaging me about like wanting to thrive. So if you guys want in, today's the last day, www.tanyacoliver.com/holiday. Okay. VIP for you. Oh, you're so welcome. Don't you love it? Isn't it amazing? Like, it's amazing. I can't emphasize this enough to people. It's super simple, but if you follow this, it's going to literally get you to thrive during this holiday season, like mentally, physically, emotionally. And today is really about healthy speed. It's funny because you guys know I'm transparent. You know I'm so transparent with you. And so I have to share this story with you. So I messaged Morgan, who's one of my assistants today. And I've been talking to some of you guys through Instagram and letting you know about the program and where you're at. And those of you that have known me from like 4, 5, 6 years ago, you're like, how have you grown so quickly? It's like every single year you look better, you look younger, you're growing, you're expanding. And I'm like, you want to know the truth on healthy speed? Do you want to know the truth on healthy speed? The shortcut, or you want to know the shortcut? The shortcut is in the follow through. The shortcut is in the follow through. And that's just like the tagline, I think, for the rest of this year. The shortcut is in the follow through. There are going to be days, especially right about now, or if not next week, where it's going to hit you. I'm telling you right now, I'm all about prevention for everybody. Even myself, I have to mentally prepare myself. And it's funny, well, let me finish what I was saying in my story. So I messaged Morgan this today. I go, Morgan, if you're listening, I messaged Morgan this morning. I'm like, listen, I got it, because we did all these reels. And she's like, what do we want for this tag? I'm like, put this, because I'm so tired of telling people this. And I said, the shortcut is in the follow through. And she goes, yeah, you should write that on your mirror. I love my team. They're just so straight up. That's one of our policies, is truthfulness. Be truthful with love. And she's like, yeah, you should write that in your mirror. And I was like, because sometimes, I'm not going to lie, I'm human. And I'll tell my team, like, I don't want to do this. Like, I don't want to do this. And they're like, you already committed. You have to do it. And to be able to create an environment with other people that are going to support and remind you of your follow through is critical. But at the end of the day, you're the one that makes that final decision. So the shortcut is in the follow through. And I have such an amazing team that reminds me those moments where I'm complaining, I'm human, I'll do it. I try not to do it often, because I know I have to lead and I have to be the example, and my energy feeds off into everybody else. What's up, Renee? We got Mike, Renee, Will, Lalani, Hayata. I think I said that right. I'm so sorry if I didn't. And so the shortcut it is in the follow through. And Morgan reminded me, like, you need to write that on your mirror. And I was like, damn, she called me out on that. Because literally I was just complaining, because I doing these 30-day lives, like, you get into something, you have a great idea. And one of the things, as we talked about earlier, is 5 ways to strengthen your willpower muscles, is fear creeps in. So if we're transitioning obstacles into opportunities, the moment where fear creeps in is, do people are even benefiting from me, like, every single day dedicating an hour and actually more, because I'm trying to plan out to make sure that they're getting value out of this content? Is it even mattering to people? Like, what's the point of showing up and doing all this stuff for free? And then we're creating this Holiday Thriver game plan at practically nothing, of years of things that I had struggled with and my clients have struggled with, that I've worked on one-on-one, that have paid thousands and thousands of dollars, that we're giving away for only $197. I'm like, why? Where's the resistance in this? And it's because that mind, there's 2 reasons. That's what I want to talk to you about today. The mind will try to lie to you that maybe you're the only one where it's not going to work for, or because we keep bringing our past experiences into future opportunities, we block our blessings. And one of the biggest things today too is about that resistance and also the follow through. So when we transition even our fear into faith, like, no matter what, even if I don't believe in it, I'm going to keep doing it. And I know that eventually, if I keep doing it, I'm going to make some form of progress. And remember, thriving is all about progress. When we are making progress, we are thriving. It's just that we have been conditioned to think that we're going to get results way bigger, way faster. And we've been lied to, and then all you got to know is, like, stay in your lane, mind your business, show up for yourself every single day without quitting, and to keep going. And one of the biggest things that I want to talk about today, like I said, is the shortcut is in the follow through, is also understanding the mental side of things and how we block our blessings. One of them is resistance and the other is attachment. So if we're talking about resistance is saying, and drop a heart or give a thumbs up if you guys can relate to this. I know what to do, I'm just not doing it. I know what to do, I'm just not doing it. And this just stems from not truly understanding why something is a priority. Meaning, I don't believe that I'm a priority. I don't feel that I'm important enough to actually put myself first, or I can't measure how by me putting myself first is going to make me more money. I can't understand how by me putting myself first is going to move me in rooms that I feel like I have to force myself into. or to have certain conversations that where I'm going to attract certain people versus me having to like force my way into something. And if we can gain clarity that the energy that we hold, the way that we carry ourselves, our level of self-belief, our level of self-confidence all impacts how much money we make, what type of rooms of people that actually want to have conversations with us, because we have to match each other's energy. If you don't match my energy, either you're going to be into my programs and you can choose to be, and I can help level you up into that energy because it is in every single person. But I'm not going to want to spend my free time having a conversation with you because I've done so much growth work and I pour so much into myself that we are not on the same page. And so unless somebody is going to invest in themselves where I can teach them everything, that's how they're going to receive my energy. And so when you pour into that type of work and you're pouring into yourself to understand, wait a second, when I pour into me, it does impact my financial state, the return on my investment, because people operating at higher levels actually want to have a conversation with me, and they want to invite me to more events. They want me to be in these type of rooms. They want me there. Like, I don't have to pay them to be there. They actually want me there because they see the value. And so if we think about, how many in here has heard a lot, your network impacts your net worth, right? How many in here has heard that? Like, my network impacts my net worth. And so if we understand and get clear, okay, because I asked this poll, my self-worth, if my self-worth impacts my net worth, then wouldn't that also impact my network? And don't they kind of all go together, right? Love you guys, right? So self-worth, building self-worth will also attract your network, which will impact your net worth, okay? Like, it's literally like a triangle, like boop, or however you want to look at the triangle. I kind of look at it as one, two. I kind of look at everything as like diagrams. Getting back to the core of today's topic, the shortcut is in doing the work. The shortcut is in the follow through. So if you're feeling a little scattered right now, if you're feeling like indecisive, if you're feeling like you're drifting, it's one of the most dangerous spaces to be in. If you're in that space, just follow through, follow through, follow through. Keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. This too shall pass, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And then clarity comes in. Progress happens. This is what thriving is about. Thriving is progress. You guys, like, thriving is progress. So the moments, as we talked about, 2 reasons that keep us stuck is from I know what to do and I just don't do it. If you know what to do, this actually completely is parallel to I know what to do, I just don't do it, is parallel to the shortcut is in the follow through. Make a sandwich out of it. I want this to be your mantra. As I shared with you, I texted Morgan today because we're thinking of like themes. You guys are seeing all these new reels, trying to make them like funny and light. And she asked me for a one-liner that we're going to post tomorrow for a reel. And she's like, yeah, write that on your mirror. Because I have so much content that if I'm not in the mood, or my energy isn't vibing with it, it doesn't matter. We still have to follow through. And that's where going back to commitment is. Commitment is staying true to what you said you were going to do, whether you feel like it or not. And because I'm committed, I had a great idea a few months ago. I'm like, I'm going to do a holiday thriving for 30 days. Day 9, I'm like, oh, what did I get myself into? And it's like, too bad. I've already committed and I'm going to execute on it and I'm going to show up every day, and every day I'm going to plan things out, because sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, like, what am I going to like? Or does anybody want to know more about this? Does anybody care about this? We have this program. Today's the last day to get in. Like, thriving during the holidays, the playbook, all this stuff. You put in so much work, regardless of what you're doing, anything that you've chosen to do. You put in so much work and so much time and so much energy, and there's a point where you feel like you've hit a temporary defeat and you feel discouraged and you're not knowing how to measure if it's going to be successful. And it happens. But the shortcut is in the follow through. I had a conversation with somebody today through messaging, because you know me, I'm like all about you guys. I'm like, hey guys, like join this program. It's amazing. It's going to like get you to thrive. Like I really mean that when I say that. I'm very confident because there are certain things that took me over 10 years to figure out. Investing a lot of money in coaches, mentors, books, time, energy, life. And I'm like, this is so freaking simple. Why do people not just like deliver it like this? Like, just give me the core of what I need to know. And like namaste, like bye afterwards. But people have to fluff everything up, or a lot of people talk about things that they isn't really like the core of a solution, Thank you. So I messaged this person today, and they're like, I knew it came down to two things. When we don't make moves, the resistance, right? It came down to two things. Number one, you don't believe in yourself anymore. You don't believe that it's going to be you, that you're going to be successful in this one area and keep bringing your past fails into your future opportunities. And so it's always a hard no versus like not quitting on yourself. And if there's something inside of you that's like, okay, mentally my mind is saying like, come on, again, really? You're going to put yourself through this again? Like, just quit. A few sessions ago, we talked about the battle between your past and your future, right? There's a book I started reading. One of the events I went to, 3 people started telling me to read this book, Outwitting the Devil. And the past self, it's a phenomenal book, by the way, you guys. I'm just started reading it or listening to it. The past self, or they say like the devil part of you that tries to keep you in misery and negativity and hold you back from your dreams and your life and your aspirations and what you're trying to achieve of you thriving, is like, you know what? You've had enough. Just call it quits. Stop trying to struggle, put yourself through that, climb the ladder, and then go back down. And then the other part of you is faith. It's like, you know what? I think this could be it. Yeah, I think this could be it. Like that's God center. This is like devil center, or past or future confliction of the mind. We talked about this in a past live stream. And which voice is going to win? Which voice are you feeding? And the reason, and I can say this because if you guys have been following my journey for all these years, and I know some of you have amazing stories as well. I mean, I never pray that somebody has to go to an extreme in life in order to finally get it. But for years, I struggled with addiction. And I can honestly say one of my most grateful traits that I have is I never give up. And I'll sometimes take taken some pretty big hits in life. But I'll never surrender. I might quit for a moment, but I always get back up. And so a lot of the stuff that I'm trying to share with you guys is to prevent you from having to take those really big hits. Because I know not everybody has the strength to get back up like I do. And that's one thing I can say is an admirable trait. And I know a lot of this relates to playing sports for over 9 years, like competitive travel, ice hockey, sports. I'm so grateful for because it's taught me such a solid foundation of how to handle really big losses and financial losses, relationship losses, family losses. We just had 2 losses this week with family members. And at the end of the day, you still have to get back up. You still have to show up for life, regardless of your circumstances, or regardless of what's going on. So a lot of this way of thinking and the strategies behind stuff, and what I'm trying to tell you is going to prevent you from a lot of suffering in your life. Or it's going to be a tool that you might not understand yet, but you're going to put it in that toolbox. So then when maybe something happens, you're like, oh, I get what she's talking about and I'm prepared, because life is about being prepared. And the more you're prepared for anything in life, you're just going to dominate. You're going to dominate. You're going to be so successful, and you're going to be the most elite in whatever it is that you set your mind to. But the key is we have to get our mind like sharp and on board. And it's even simple things every single day, like the foods we're putting into our body, the quality of sleep that we're receiving, the foundations, the fundamentals, the self-dialogue, how to shape shift the self-dialogue. When you want to quit, how to talk yourself back into following through. Maybe take a break, but how to get back up as quickly as possible. And I think that's one of the greatest secrets, is really understanding how to pivot and how to pivot quickly, because everybody here, my core people that I love attracting, are athletes of the entrepreneur space. Like, you are the athlete of whatever career of choice that you've chosen. So how do we get you to be like strong athletes and elite athletes in whatever sport you choose to play? Whatever sport you choose to play. And how to, gracefully, with pride, handle your wins without, sometimes people have really big wins and then they end up going backwards because of that, not knowing how to sustain them. And how do you get back up really quickly when you have really hard losses? That's really life, you guys. Like, that is life. And thriving is making progress no matter what. No matter what. For real. So anyway, I'm trying to get all sappy on you guys. But yeah, so today's core message, because I want to stay on track, is the shortcut is in the follow through. I had a conversation with somebody yesterday, very successful. And we were talking about, he's just like, well, what do you do? I've heard great things about you. I've seen amazing results. People have been talking like wonderfully about the results they're getting. They don't always like me during the process, but no, I try to make it fun. But people get results. Like, once you do this work, you can never go backwards. You might like have some like habit relapses, but you'll never go backwards, because when your mind shifts and you see things different and you understand a new road to be on to still hit your end target, like, you'll never go backwards. And that's the beauty about a lot of this stuff. And I was like, well, I get people their results through healthy speed. And he's like, wow, that really fascinated me, those two words put together. What is healthy speed? I'm like, understanding that the shortcut is in the follow through. And he's like, what does that mean? When we go through things in life, because let's just have an open, real conversation, the world's been a little weird lately. And I don't see it getting better just yet until each person takes, personal responsibilities. Yeah, little hiccups. And so much fear is trying to be like intoxicating our minds. And it's our choice to make sure that we protect our mind, we protect our body, we protect the way that we're operating and we're functioning. And we draw towards communities that are going to enforce like us to come together, to be stronger together, so that we can keep our mind pure. We can keep our spirit in spirit, in good spirit. And we're healthy. We're healthy and strong no matter what, like, we will always thrive. We will always keep moving. We will always keep like expanding beyond and above, and no matter what. And I was like, it's really about, when you're going through stuff, that you don't numb yourself, you don't shut off, you go through it, and you still go. Because a lot of times people think that there's like this secret formula, and they try to take shortcuts. And I see this all the time, and those shortcuts end up putting them further down a rabbit hole. And if they would have just kept going, even if they didn't see any progress, if they would have just kept going and following through with those commitments they set, 1 year goes by and you are like, oh my gosh, like, wow, I made so much progress. But you're not going to always see that on a day-to-day basis. And we want results like now. So if we can learn to gain control over our cravings and our desires, our addictions, our mental battles, our mental conflicts, and we just keep pushing through no matter what, like even when we're trying to sabotage ourselves, we just keep going, we keep moving. A year goes by, 2 years go by, 3 years go by, and people are like, oh my gosh, like you've changed so much. But in that 1 year, it might have looked like nothing. 2 years, 3 years, like and this is something I always tell myself, Tanya, 1 + 1 + 1 + 1 + 1 + 1 + 1 + 1 + 1 + 1 + 1 turns into a clap. Okay? They all add up. Every single day matters. Every single day matters. Every single time you show up, that counts. Every single time, like you do it regardless, like it happens. And if you think about it, it's like 1 + 1, and then it adds up and it's like a clap, and you leave and you're like, wow, I'm so proud of myself that I showed up. I'm so proud of myself that I showed up. And that's what this life is about. It's about looking, never looking back, always looking ahead. But if you do look back, you look back with appreciation and gratitude. So getting back to today, the shortcut is in the follow through. All right. And today is the last day, you guys. We are closing the doors at midnight. So make sure you go to www.tanyacoliver.com/holiday. You're going to get this Holiday Thriving book. We are going to get into strategies as well to make sure you don't do anything that you don't want to do. And you're also going to get the Healthy Traveler Playbook as well for free. So make sure you go to www.tanyacoliver.com/holiday. And you guys are going to get hooked up, okay? For those of you that just hopped on, remember, I don't speak Arabic. I'm still learning English. So I'm still speaking English, and the shortcut is in the follow through, okay? All right, you guys, I love you. Send me messages if you have any questions. Make sure you go to that site. The site is also in my bio, and I will see you guys tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern, where it's going to be day 13. These live streams are saved, so go back, watch the live streams. Today was 12 out of 30. Tomorrow's 13. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Make sure you sign up for the courses too, because we end tonight, and I don't want you to miss out.